Emily. So I want to thank the sponsors of the Suechefs and to those who continue to support us throughout the community. And I'm going to pass it along to our founder, Miss Sue.
Thank you, Bailey. We are so appreciative of you and your work at the library. I know that through the pandemic, you guys have juggled tons, but you've always kept sous chefs in the forefront, and we appreciate that very, very much. I also want to thank another community partners, just like the Alexander Hamilton Memorial Free Library. So very much appreciate that. Now our sponsors that actually help us with funding, and that is very appreciated also. One of them is Patriot Federal Credit Union. They've been our sponsor from the beginning, and they've been our community since the 1960s. So we appreciate them. We also have Seniors Cookies, which is a small cookie company down in Hagerstown, Maryland. They are divine, these cookies, and you can find them on Facebook and find them down in Hagerstown at places like Gordon's Market, or you can find their website, seniorscookies.com. And we also have the Beveled Edge, which is the company in Gettysburg that did the beautiful granite countertops in our kitchen here at Suechefs. And we very much appreciate them as they improve kitchens all over the place and help Suechefs. They're excited about our mission, and our mission is to teach general basic cooking skills to kiddos and anyone who wants to cook. We have no age limit if you have an interest in Suechefs. We will be at the library coming this fall and winter doing in-person cooking classes that are free because, again, of the generosity of the library here in Waynesboro and our sponsors. So we will look forward to that. This month we've got Jam in July, where we meet the third Thursday of every month at 4:30. My co-founder Evie Dickey is at the beach, but before she went, her and her mom and another friend, sous chef Emily, did a really cool video on how to make this wonderful jam that is low in sugar or has no sugar, and you don't have to do the cooking and preserving it and all of that. It just sets up by itself because of the ingredients that they use in it. Now, one thing I want to say about Suechefs before we play our video is that we talk to everyone about nutrition, and that is a subject that can be very tiresome. So we try to make it easy, and here's how we do that. We put foods into two categories: anytime foods, which are healthy vegetables and fruits, water, sparkling sodas that don't have any chemicals or dyes in them, anything that's grown from the earth, meats, eggs, things like that. Those are anytime foods. They were delicious. So, but those are things we only want to have some of the time, because 80% of our health, 80% of our health is determined by what we put in our mouth. And think about how careful we are about the gasoline we put in our car, but we're not careful about the foods that we eat. And yet this is our best engine and our best body of work that we have in our lifetime. So just consider that. Now, not to get bored, we want to make sure we have foods that are delicious and fun to eat, as well as nutritious. And the food that we are having made today by Emily and Edie is an anytime food. Because of the ingredients in this wonderful strawberry jam, you can eat this anytime. It's just healthy and really, really good. So I'm going to bring up the movie now. It's about 10 minutes long. And then afterwards, we'll talk a little bit about what they shared. And we will talk about our next month's sous chef. We meet on the third Thursday, what time that is, and when, what the subject matter is. Although you can see that on our website at suechefs.org. But let's get this movie up and listen to Emily and Evie and Emma do their wonderful creation of Jammin Jam. July's Jam and Jam.
Happen to like sugars. Go ahead, Eve and Emma. Okay, so we just washed our hands, and if you didn't, do that now. So now we're gonna be making our jelly, and let's cut them up. Yeah. So we have some pre-cut strawberries right here, but I want to show you how to cut them and without a core. I have a core right here, and I'll show you how to use that right now. So you take the leaves and you pull them upwards. And you take your core, pull down, push down the button, kind of jab it into the strawberry, twist it, and there you go. So now we can play them. Okay. So how are you doing slice them and try to put it like up straight so that like the part that we just pulled is facing down. And then I cut it in half. And then here's another one. Oh, also, it's a smaller one, and use this one and cut it in half, and then cut it in half again, because you don't want to cut yourself.
And they don't have to be perfect. Sorry to interrupt. They don't have to be perfect because we are going to match them up. So the idea is that you can put it in the other measuring cup too if you want. The idea is that you just put them in slices so that they cook a little bit faster, a little bit easier. So we're looking for 2 cups of berries. Strawberries again, blueberries, raspberries,
Blackberries.
just make sure you wash them. If you pick them, absolutely wash them. If you get them out of the grocery store, you still want to wash them
Because there's all of this fertilizer that the farmers use, and you don't want to put that in your mouth because it might be toxic.
For sure. And what are some of the benefits of strawberries, guys?
All the benefits of strawberries is that they help prevent colds and flus. They also help with your eyesight, and they're great for your heart. Yeah. We also wash them in a colander. It's pretty much a bowl, and it has holes in it, so that when you rinse them, the water kind of drains off. But the strawberries, stuff.
So 2 cups of berries, right?
We're putting them in this pot so that we can boil them, which we're actually doing right now with our other ones. We're going to boil them and mash them while they're hot. And so
yeah, we definitely want to cook the berries for sure. And not a big deal because you washed your hands.
yeah.
Now the thing with jelly is that a lot of the jellies that you buy in the supermarket have tons of sugar in them. And we know that you don't need a lot of sugar throughout your day. So we've decided to make this more of a healthy option by doing things like using natural sugars like honey, which actually we got these from our friends who have bees. Like that's super cool if you have bees, like, look, we got honey. That's awesome. So you can use honey that's a natural sugar. You can use what's called monk fruit. This is a Miss Sue total staple. She loves the monk fruit. She's going to give us some information about monk fruit. She loves it. It's great. It's a good sugar substitute. Or the agave. If you're going to measure, it's important to look up conversions. That was something that we had to do today. Our original recipe called for honey, but we wanted to also have low glycemic, which is how your blood sugar is. We wanted low glycemic options. That way we stayed within control of what we were putting into our bodies. Go ahead.
We also have a pot of strawberries heating up on the stove right now, and that's what we what we use the honey for, but for this recipe that we're about to show you is we're going to use mustard.
Right, so it's always important to make sure you're looking up the conversions, right? So like I said, the honey we looked up, or the honey original recipe had 2 tablespoons of honey. The agave is a liquid agave. It actually the conversion from 2 tablespoons of honey is actually a half a teaspoon of monk fruit. So here you go, girls.
So what do you need a half a teaspoon of monk fruit? Hey. And then just pour that over your strawberries. Make sure to pour it all over the strawberries, not just in the center, so that you can really get sweetness all around. Especially because now strawberries are out of season. So you want sweetness in your strawberries so that they don't taste really sour and hard, which is that's not really good. Yeah. So now
We're going to try these.
you are?
Yeah, we're going to go with the chai seeds then after you've done the mash.
Oh, okay.
So what you're going to do is we'll put this here. We should probably get a hot pad. And we're going to take it's allowed to seem it's very hot. We're going to put this on the stove. So they did start to boil and they are soft. Now we're going to use, this is cool, this is my grandmother's potato masher. We're going to mash the strawberries up. The last time we did this, if you remember, we used a fork.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Or you could put it in a food processor to really pulverize because you don't want huge chunks of strawberries, but you do want it to taste like Mother Nature intended. So go ahead and smush them up. Got it smushing?
I think, yeah. There's a lot of juice.
It is there because it's all cooked out. Here, sure.
Yeah, I'll serve it. Oh. And be careful, do not touch the pot. Try and hold the handle, and I know it's kind of hard to not try and staple it with your hands on the side, but don't do that. It's very hot, I can feel the steam. I feel like that's a little more.
How are they coming? They looking okay?
Yeah, they're coming out.
Okay. I was afraid we had cooked them too long. So we need to be mashing.
There we go.
Going in?
Mm-hmm.
Good, that's great.
Yep.
You can tell in the nature of peanut butter and jelly, I like these.
Oh yeah. So my mom loves peanut butter and jelly, so she recently just started PB&J.
So this really tastes like that. Because it's just sitting in there with the other looks good.
It's good.
It looks pretty much. All right.
Oh, it's really well.
Really much. So what do we do next? We get to use the chai seeds.
Chia.
I want to say chai, but it's
Chia.
chia seeds. How many do we need now? Some of these could be, we're looking for a recipe for 2 tablespoons of chia seeds. These are really good for you. They've got some really good nutrients, omega-3s, all of that good for your brain food, and they're really tiny.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Yeah.
They won't, and they're soft. They don't really taste like anything. And also, they are really expensive to get.
Yeah, they've got a lot of fiber in them. I don't know if we can show them how tiny they are.
Maybe get
happens is that the chai seeds, yeah, that's super cool. The chai seeds interact with our mush berries and they'll form a jelly type consistency. You can go ahead and put them in there.
Yay.
You gotta be quick. I'm gonna drip everywhere.
They tend to get stuck to your hand, so maybe don't pick them up with your hand.
And then, so we're calling for 2 tablespoons, right?
Did you guys already see the benefits?
Yeah.
Okay.
But because we cooked the strawberries down so far, they're a little bit more liquidy than we've done before.
Yeah.
So you might need more chai seeds. Chia. Why do I always call them the wrong name?
I don't know. It doesn't matter if you put them in the middle because you're just gonna mix them around.
Well, these berries are gonna be good.
Oh yeah, they'll get stuck. It's so hard to put them all around. I'll put them in my hand. Oops. So if that happens, put that in the yeah, put it in the sink or in the dishwasher. You want to stir them up so that they're not in one spot. Yeah, stir them up really nicely. Because you want them to get everywhere. So that like every single bite you have jelly. There's also a load of chia seeds.
Yeah.
A lot, not a load.
Load or a lot. Hey, this one's cooking up really good.
Oh, make sure while you're heating up the strawberries, make sure to mix them around a little bit, especially after you put your monk fruit in it or maybe your honey, whatever sweetener you're using. Make sure you stir it around because you don't want sweetener in just one place.
Or to get stuck in the bottom.
You're already stuck at the bottom because that's a mess to clean up.
Yeah. So these are the ones that you guys just put on the stove, so that shows how fast this can be done. Look, this isn't as watery as those. Do you need more chia seeds in those?
No, it was pretty good. It smells really good too.
Yeah, that's the beauty of this. Like, it's all natural stuff. Like, it smells so good.
It smells like you just smashed a whole bunch of strawberries, which we did.
I'm gonna put chia seeds in here.
Anytime I make a jelly sandwich, I open up the jelly and it's regular jelly that you bought from the store. I get attacked by sugar and that's really not good, especially if you love jelly like me.
Yeah, and this is just like a good, like I said, especially if you use natural peanut butter, like you could put this, you could serve this warm, you could serve it and you know, keep it. I've usually kept it in the refrigerator for a few days. I put it in yogurt, that's really good.
Maybe put it in like little jars and give them to your neighbors maybe. Or your family. Also scrape around the sides when you're mixing up the chia seeds and the strawberries because they tend to like to kind of hide out there.
To keep stirring, they will get a gel consistency. And Eve actually has started this week what's called a chia pet. Yeah, so she used these same seeds and is sprouting them. And so she's growing them as well. And she can tell you that when she mixed it just with water, they became a jelly consistency, didn't they?
Yeah, and
That's why if it's too jelly, if it's too wet, you just keep adding them and then it will firm up. So that way, if yours is too loose, just keep adding these. You can't overdo it. These are good.
yeah, because the first time we tried to do the chia pet, we put not really a
Nice job. No, don't eat it now. It's super hot too. But there you go. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Miss Sue.
Thank you, guys. It's wonderful. I appreciate you so much. Wow, didn't they do a nice job with that? They really showed us how to make that easily, didn't they, Bailey?
Yeah, that was really neat. I never knew how easy jam really was.
You could really impress your friends and family by making that and taking it. I bet it tastes so fresh and smells so.
Mhm. Yeah, especially at I mean, if you go to your grocery store and buy jam from the grocery store, there's probably like a lot of added sugar, but here you could just use natural sugar, honey, or if you don't like added sugar, you could just use the strawberries because strawberries are naturally sweet. So
Yeah, and those cans at the store and jellies are mostly sugar, unfortunately. They the fruit costs more than the sugar, so they load them up with sugar. And the better product certainly is what we're making at home. And because they use honey and natural sugar that comes from nature, it doesn't spike your blood sugar the same way that white sugar does. And as far as using monk fruit sweetener, which is available at Martin's or Walmart, or you can get it anywhere. Just look for monk fruit sweetener and make sure that's all that's in it.
monk fruit.
MONK, monk fruit. And monk fruit comes from China and northern Thailand, and it's a plant that's cultivated for its fruit. And the reason that it is so good to use is because it is 250 times sweeter than saccharin. So you need this much to get that much taste. So that's why it's a wonderful sugar substitute. Plus, it is metabolized different by the body because it's not white sugar. That's white sugar is probably the worst for us. And there's plenty of natural substitutes that absolutely work beautifully.
Yeah, I'm looking on Amazon and it's only for, I guess for their smaller packs, they're only $5.96 on Amazon. Now I buy another sugar substitute that's way more expensive and the pack is pretty small. So that's pretty neat that I can get this for cheaper.
That's awesome. So it's a good value as well. And certainly
Yeah.
we need to wonder about that. Hashtag budget, you know, we all got that going on.
Oh my gosh. Now, are you a jam person or a peanut butter person?
I'm not a peanut butter person right now because that's a protein that I'm just not interested in right now because I ate a lot of peanut butter and jelly when I did daycare, so I'm kind of worn out on that. But it is a wonderful protein for our body. Soy is better than peanut butter. Soy is actually higher in protein than peanut butter is. So if you can find a soy product, now not soy oil. Soy oil, they've heated up and completely destroyed, and it is toxic and actually causes us to have achy joints and bones. But soy itself, as a butter or soy products that haven't been heated, are very good for us.
Wow.
Just like peanuts. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that was really cool. Do you have any of that jam to taste test for us?
I don't. They put it in the refrigerator and then went out of town and forgot because they were so busy. They're in North Carolina. Their whole family goes, like 20 of them. And it's so much to coordinate, and they stay in beach houses beside each other, which I think is a wonderful tradition for families to have. So they were really busy, and I didn't fuss them. But when they get back, I'll make sure I get a hold of some of that for us, Bailey.
Maybe I'll run into them when I go to North Carolina tomorrow.
It didn't occur to me you were going to the same place.
Yeah. I'll be in Jacksonville.
Okay.
Jacksonville, North Carolina. So,
Well,
that was a nice little video.
It was. I'll go ahead and close this up. Remember when we're using the recipe that Emily and them had, this is a anytime food that we can have anytime, green lights on, we can eat that, especially if you're using the monk fruit. And the chia seeds have wonderful nutritional content, as we heard them talk about on there. And the strawberries are good for our eyes, good for our hearts, you know, just a lot of benefits there. So you could have that anytime. We want to thank our sponsors again, the Double Edge up in Gettysburg. They're going to redo your kitchen. It's going to look wonderful. Seniors Cookies down in Hagerstown, yummy, yummy, yummy. And Patriot Federal Credit Union, who actually I've banked with forever. And we have our sous chefs account there. They're a wonderful sponsor for us. Next month, we are going to be doing barbecue or smoking meats with Markham Grimes. He is a friend of one of our sous chefs, stepdad, and he has a smoker and a whole routine that he does that is really interesting. And he's going to share that with us. That's August Thursday, the 19th, the third Thursday at 4:30. So that'll be our program next month, Bailey.
Wow. Barbecue. That's I love a good barbecue sauce. So I am very excited for that. Well, thank you, Ms. Sue, and thank you to Evie and Emily for the wonderful video. And then what was the other little girl's name?
That was Emma. She's a sous chef of ours, and she is the sweetest kid. Her and Evie are in school together and have been friends a very long time. She's just a dear, dear soul.
Okay, well, and thank you to Emma for participating in the video. Well, we will meet again over Zoom, but I'm hoping we can meet in person soon, August 19th at 4:30, and I will have a video of our presentation up on our Facebook page and YouTube channel, so you guys will be able to check it out there. And if you need any information about the sous chefs or how to support them, visit their website or their Facebook page, because they also post recipes and other information about how to get involved. All righty, well, Sue, it's been real. I will see you later. We'll talk soon.
Safe travel.
Always a pleasure.
Yeah, always a
All right. All right, bye, Sue.